Hello, and welcome to Wild Sun Art Studio. My name is Robinsunne, and I am here to talk about how I got lost on a deserted island and made an art journal. So Nik the Booksmith, who is a wonderful artist herself and makes art journals, invited her people to take on the challenge of imagining if we had gotten stuck on a deserted island and had a limited quantity of materials, what would our art journal look like? So we got some givens. All of us got to choose a chunk of paper and have some scissors and glue and thread and needle. And so, I have those. And then we got to make some choices, but just 4. So I chose a cereal box, the brown paper bag that the cereal box came in to be the cover, a black flare pen, and I had meant to bring craft wire, and I ended up bringing an awl instead. Who knew? It ended up being wonderful to be able to punch the signatures with the support of the handle and not have to use my needle and thread. Yeah, made some decisions around that. Oh, well, that was how it was. So I think I went a little overboard. The cereal box was a big cereal box. And I made a big book. You see it? You see the whole thing? So there are 8 signatures, and on the back I made this beautiful weaving. I love this so much. It was remarkably difficult to do with little teeny tiny papers, but it was really fun, and it's gotten kind of gnarled up, and I love it now that it's getting messed up too. But anyway, on to the book. My island was an island full of flowers, and I felt obligated to show off those flowers in my journal. So I have a pocket here in front where I have some tidbits and some spare bits and the pattern for the paper dolls that I made. And I made, let's make sure you can see these, I made divisions that sort of followed me on my path through my time on this deserted island. At first, I thought it's all about time. I'm here for a while. I'm supposed to be learning something. That'll happen. And then, well, just briefly, I talked about what had happened. I made a little book. I was on my way to the art class on board ship, and all of a sudden there was a lot of water. So, and I think I hit my head and I said, where am I? And according to the story laid out in this book, I wasn't at all sure where I was for a little while. Then finally I figured out that it was an island, and I was sort of sad. But one of the cool things that happened was I found a tree house on the island, and in the tree house was a desk to write on, and I'm just trying to make sure you're seeing everything. There was an axe with a whetstone to keep it sharp, and some books on the desk, and a pot so I could have tea, which was fabulous. So I wrote a lot, and then finally I realized I needed a big journal, and I created this, and I wanted some pages really dedicated to the beauty around me. So I made all kinds of flowers, and I'm going to take some time, all the links are below, to show you how I made these flowers. All of these flowers. So then it was about action, and I just had to work hard. And I will show you my first dolly, but there are 5 people, and there's a long version of this also linked below if you want to meet all 5 of my people who came to give me a hand. This is Maisie. She has a basket. Her name is Maisie after the word maize for corn. And her support for me was all about making sure that I was fed and I slept well and I drank enough water and did what had to be done. So she was my support for that. And all the dolls got a pocket. So in my book, I put in some paper cuts, and these are the offcuts from some paper cuts that I made with scribble paper, and lots of flowers. And then this is the best thing, and I really learned this about myself during this time making the journal. I love having a big book that says, this is who I am and this is where I am, and it's a little chronological and I kind of get a picture of my life. But in terms of day-to-day writing in a journal, I love having these little trifolds. And they're envelopes and tuck spots and little journals and cards and all kinds of cool stuff. This is my favorite flower. I will show you how to do that in the video below. I did a couple different kinds of flowers, but that was my favorite. More trifolds. More trifolds. So many. And paper cuts. This is a great one. I actually wrinkled the paper before I folded it and cut it into the paper cut. So it really stands up from the page. You get a little more shadow thing going on there. More paper cuts, more trifolds, more roses. I'm totally going to show you how to make the roses. I pretended I was writing a newspaper for part of the time I was on the island. That was exciting. Ooh, here. And I also imagined that I would be saved by a sailing ship going through the waves. And indeed, according to this book and the history therein, I was indeed saved by a ship on the waves. More cards and pockets. Clara is another of the beings who came to hang out with me. Check out this paper cut. Not wonderful? So this is scribble paper. I just took my black flare pen and I scribbled. So it's not even solid, but you get the picture here. It really lets you see it. So that was extremely successful. I think I'm almost at my 10 minutes. But anyway, sorry, that was a little, I made a pennant garland. And more paper cuts and more luscious trifolds. And that really is the rest of the book. Paper cuts and flowers, and these are paper frames that I have taught you how to make before, and I will re-teach you. And angel wings, because I was not alone on the island, that's for sure. And more pockets and some trifolds that have yet to be filled, which is great because now that I'm home, I can use my colored pencils, and that will be awesome. And lots of pockets and pretty things. And I was actually, I didn't bring any color. I just had the black pen and the shadows that textural paper makes and the cream colored paper. And I think it came out pretty well. So thank you all for watching my video. If you want to hear more about the book, the long version is down there below. If you want to learn how to do any of these pockets and pullouts and all that juicy stuff, that video is linked below too. If you want to meet more of the dolls, and Sunne too is a very special character, that is down below too. And Nik, thank you so much. I don't think I've ever done one of these challenge things before. This was delicious. Thank you very, very much for offering this to us. I wish you very well. I hope everybody gets home safe and sound from their deserted island. I'll see you later. Bye.